What's going on, guys? It's Greg Farley from The Wise Guys, and I'm here with this gentleman. What is your name, sir?
Trenton Smith.
And what did you do? What did you play today, sir?
I played Traptrix.
You actually played Traptrix?
I did.
You actually played it?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you like it? Is it good? Is it?
It's very strong. It's just you live and die by the dice roll. Either you win and you're going to stun your opponent, or you're going to get pump stomped.
So let's get into it. See what's working with.
We played 3 Ash, just a staple. 3 Mantis. This card's absolutely nuts. Lets you facilitate Sera on both yours and your opponent's turn, as well as getting like your Diana for follow-up plays. Remelio, you need to grab your holes so you can actually stun and then actually proc Sera.
Yep.
3 Diana. It's your recovery as well as your rank 4 engine, so you gotta play 3.
It's the one that pulls one back, right?
Yeah, pulls one back, and then if you special summon off Sera, you can set a trap hole from your graveyard to your field, and then you can use Mantis to return it to your hand so it doesn't get banished.
So returns 1, grabs 1, returns 1 to the field. Special summon.
Yeah, and this one also grabs Traptrix from the deck.
Wow.
And then we played an Atrax. It's really just there for the name, but it can come up where you can like summon it and have holes in your hand and be able to activate them. It's mainly there for the name.
So you like having holes in hand? Is that what you just said? Okay, we're gonna get back in the deck.
Then we played a Moral Attack and a Scythe. No hands. It's not hat.
Yeah. You don't want to clog your summons either.
Then we played 2 Extravagance.
2?
Yeah. The third one is bad because you don't want to banish all your Seras. It's not like Guru or like Ultra Guys where you can banish your entire extra deck and be fine.
Yeah.
This deck kind of needs their extra deck, but they also need the extra 2 cards.
You think Desires would be bad?
Yeah, you're going to banish way too many of your stun.
True.
You want to be able to cycle through it as much as you possibly can. So 2, you see it. If you see the second one, you don't have to play it, whereas like seeing the second and third one, you just brick on it.
Okay.
Then we played 2 Super Poly. Interruption, as well as it gives us a going second when we lose the die roll, because we're not always going to win. And then a Double or Nothing because we have no OTK.
Well, man, I see what's coming, but we'll let that foreshadowing kind of sit along.
Onto the traps. We played 3 Shade. With it plus any Traptrix monster equals Sera plus a rank 4. Just kind of free.
Let's put that to the side so we can see it later.
3 Sanctum, get our sides. Scythe is too broken not to play.
Right.
Just stuns everyone. The next best card in the deck, I think, is a Chain Hole.
Ooh, spicy.
If someone tries to Ash like your Sanctum and you have this, you can activate this to negate their Ash, and they either have to banish another Ash, or they have to banish a random card from their hand. So it's just kind of free.
That's disrespectful, sir. That's extremely disrespectful.
It's also searchable off of Remelio or Sera because it's a normal trap hole.
I'm shaking my head behind the camera in case you didn't understand.
We then played 2 Floodgate. This is probably the next best one. We played against Pendulum today, and he summoned a monster to his extra monster zone, and I booked it, and then I just stalled him out because I couldn't get over it, and he couldn't get over my life.
Right.
2 Bottomless. It's bottomless. You can't not play it. And then we played 2 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare.
Just because they're ulti, right?
It's part of it. Yeah, I gotta add a little bling. It's actually really good against like Orcus. They summon their mermaid and you just negate. Yeah. And then I played Double Strike. Could have played 3. I preferred the warning.
Cool.
Just more stun. 2 Torrential. It's broken in this format because stopping someone's plays when they summon a monster and have several on board is just nuts. And Sera and Reflasia just don't care.
Because they protect everybody?
They protect themselves, and Reflasia protects everybody.
Oh, that sounds really strong.
And then Double Storming because we need to stop battle. And our monsters aren't very big. Sera's 800. Everyone else is like under 2,000.
Right.
Kind of just a way of protecting ourselves.
So that's pretty. Is that the main deck?
That's the main deck.
How many was that? Like 40?
44.
44 cards?
Yeah. Onto the extra deck. We played 3 of the main one. Sera is now the engine of the deck, literally grabbing your monsters and spells as you traps as you activate them.
So I was asking a friend, and he said it's a lot like Marionetta and Multi-Faker in the same card.
Pretty much, yeah. And then we got our Hex Tia of deal with any problem when it comes up.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it's Reflasia. It protects all of your Traptrix. And then if you have this under this, they can't destroy this by battle, so it just lives.
And then
which
it
is
just
really
keeps
nice.
rolling and rolling and rolling.
Then you just keep your engine rolling. 2 Redoer. You can make it with Rusty and take cards from their deck, and then return stuff to the top of the deck while stunning them with all your back row. So it's just kind of free. And then you can remove them from the field to put them back somewhere else, and then make another rank for the following turn.
Okay.
2 Dweller, it's too strong in this format. Playing a lot of multiples. So
Whatever's left of it before they...
yeah, whatever's left of it. We're just playing a lot of 2-ofs just to keep it rolling so that we don't banish them all off of Extravagance. But if we do, it's just kind of less utility we have.
Right.
Then we played a double in a Utopia, just for the OTK potential. If you banish it off Extravagance, you lose a little bit, but you're still stunning them to death, so it doesn't really matter. For Super Poly, we played Mud Dragon and Starving Venom. Just kind of hits most decks that are going to be problematic. And then I played a Beat Cop. Just sometimes you get stuck with like Sera pointing to Reflation, you have another monster and you want to open up another extra deck zone, so you can just make Beat Cop because she's generic.
So while you play Extravagance and you want to play more of this, you feel like that's just, you kind of have to play it like this a little bit?
Yeah, you really need the Super Poly because one, it breaks boards, and if they break your board and set up, you can just Super Poly it away. Otherwise, I would probably play 2 more and then probably cut Beat Cop and like... There's just not enough space in the extra deck anymore.
Right.
Extravagance is too strong of a card not to play.
Can you show us the combo really quick with the Reflage just to make Traptrix Sera and Reflasia? And...
Yeah. So...
Do the magic of video editing.
So the most optimal way to open would be Mantis plus Shade, and then you'll have 3 more cards. They could be traps, they could be other monsters, they could be like Extravagance. Ideally, you're going to be able to... Yeah. This will end with this. Ideally, you'll be able to normal summon Mantis, and that'll search for your Dionea, just so you have follow-up for the following turn. You'll make Mantis into Sera, and you'll set the Shade. And when you activate the Shade, it'll special summon, and it'll proc Sera, so you can special summon another Traptrix from the deck, so like another Mantis.
And this triggers this because?
Because it's a normal spell, or a normal trap.
Just for the viewers out there, in case they didn't know.
So you can summon like Mantis, and then if you have like, or Murmelio. If you have another trap, you summon Mantis. If you don't, you summon Murmelio. Nice thing about Murmelio is when he's summoned, he mandatory has to activate to pop a spell or trap your opponent controls. Even if you're going first, it still activates, and that procs Sera, which lets you set any normal trap hole from your deck to your field.
So that's kind of a important ruling thing about her. She's mandatory?
Has to activate, even if they have no valid targets.
And then you just overlay these 2?
And then you can overlay those 2 into like Reflasia or Redoer.
When do you feel like Reflasia and when do you feel like Redoer is correct? Like, just depending on what you're playing,
Going
I guess.
first, I tend to make Redoer because you're going to have a bunch of... If you have a bunch of back row, I make Redoer. If you don't open as much, I make Reflasia.
Right.
Usually I make Redoer because it just returns problematic cards to the top of the deck, and then they have to draw it next turn, so I know what to expect to stun them with.
Right on. Appreciate it. Any shout outs you want to give? I know you got at least 1 or 2.
Yeah, shout out to my team, Team CFH. Don't look us up, we don't exist. They help me get the cards, they help me playtest it. Yeah, that's about it. Shout out to the Wise Guys for the profile, though.
I appreciate it, bro. YG, baby.